all right, we covered the business mindset, how you should think. Now, let me ask you this. We both love cars. You know, obviously speaking, we've done things differently. You've
Very
been
differently.
very successful in your career buying cars. Hate you, man. So, listen, he's bought cars.
And I have a much nicer collection than you know. I'm just going to put that out there because I've done things right slowly.
Okay.
I've accumulated a much...
This is what I will say is true, right? I rented a Lamborghini to go fast. You walk there to go fast. You get what I'm saying? So that was a better approach. But how are you able to game the market and kind of like capitalize on it and make money throughout the whole period of time while others lost money in the car market? Because you've bought cars that I'm like, wow. And you made money on cars. I'm like, damn, 200K off this car? How are you doing this?
So, first off, I'm patient. That's the big difference in any asset acquisition game.
And not emotional like me.
Zero. So, I hold zero fucking emotion towards things.
Yeah.
Like, most people get rich to buy shit. I get richer buying shit. So, remember the difference in... Remember the difference in mindset, right?
Okay, I like that.
So I look at every single purchase that I ever make. Doesn't matter, it's my house, cars. I have all the shit I want. I have nicer cars than most people will ever have in their life, right? Then that's not, I'm not telling people, oh, I don't buy shit and you're going to buy expensive stuff or I'm buying, no. I'm buying better stuff than most people, but I'm buying it more carefully and understanding how to buy it without wanting it. So I buy it when it makes financial sense and I basically continue to leverage it over time, and I don't get in a rush to get in and out of things. So you may buy maybe like an SVJ, and I'll buy an SVJ, but you'll buy an SVJ because you get emotional and you want an SVJ. I'll wait till I find the right SVJ at the right price, bring it down, and make sure that it's the car everyone else will want, and I'll leverage my skills as the reason why I bought that car. Meaning, if I couldn't get a good deal, I'm not buying that car. I don't give a shit. But you get emotional, you buy it anyways.
So, you sold the SVJ that I actually wanted, man. I'm trying to find a photo right now. I think I sent it to you this morning.
The hottest SVJ, I would argue that was the hottest SVJ in the country.
Hands down.
Yes.
Mo, if you don't mind, put this up on the screen, Bills as well. But explain to him how this SVJ worked. It was Hermes interior.
Yeah, so it was basically every car, and I have now I don't know if you saw my new Revuelto, that...
Blue, right?
Yeah, so I did something new. Instead of full orange, I did full Tiffany blue.
Hold on, I'll pull up real quick. I put it in the chat if you guys don't mind. But okay, so SVJ, you bought the car, you sold it twice, made profit twice.
Actually, I sold it 4 times.
4 times?
4 times since I got it in 2020.
What?
So 4 full times I've bought this car between 600 and 700, and I have sold it right about 900K every time. And I bought it back for 7, sold it for 9. Bought it back for 7, sold it for 9. Again and again and again.
How'd you know when to buy and when to sell? Because that's not normal. Bills, could you bring that real quick, the car, so they can see it? Wow.
So you just have to know exactly.
That's it right there.
Yeah, the hottest car, I'm telling you.
Oh, man.
You have to buy the right exclusive cars, and you have to make sure they're never for sale. That's the trick.
Okay.
The nicest things in the world can't be available. Nobody wants what's available. So that's how you market the game. Like, basically, I find the rarest assets. If I buy a Bugatti, a Ferrari, whatever I buy, I'm buying it for me because I like it, but I'm buying it in a manner that is so unique that there won't be 2 like it ever for sale at the same time.
Is it spec, color, all the combined?
All of it.
Yeah.
All of it. Rarity, spec, desirability. Like, is it a color people want? Is it creative? You know, like, meaning, is it something different that people haven't seen but tasteful? Not like a green interior on a black car. You know, that would be like a vomit. Instead, it's something that people will recognize, want to fit in and be part of, but they can't have access to it.
So, okay, for most people, buying a car is a liability, 100%. Like, you're going to lose money, 1,000%. You turn it into a business where you make money off of buying cars, hence your course. What's one thing people need to look out for when buying cars as well, not to lose money? Because, for example, nowadays people are buying cars and they're heavily upside down in the car and they don't know what to do.
Let me tell you, the first thing is the cheapest car on the block is always the worst car to buy. Never buy price. Never.
But, Benjamin, I just made some money. That's all I have. I don't want to blow the bank.
You're not. It's about money retention. So poor people typically think, in today's cost. Like, think about every poor person buying a car. What's my monthly payment? That's the first thing to think about. That's it. They're like, can I afford my monthly payment? Can I afford my down payment? I'm buying that car. That's how they think. They don't think about the ownership cost of that car. And I'm not even talking about maintenance and all that shit, because all these cars are made by fucking Audi these days, so it doesn't even matter. They're all reliable. But what I'm talking about is, in their head, the way they think about things is, what can I afford? Not what is it really costing me. And this is the culture in America that banks have been really good at feeding down your throat for the last 30 years. So you've come to accept that what you buy is based on what you can afford to pay for through credit. So this is a big problem in this country, because even when people buy like leases, they think in their head, well, a lease is a better financial tool. And then you have fucking on like Suze Orman and shit that are like, you should lease everything because they're bought by the banks. And what you're not realizing is you're buying the worst depreciating cycle of a car, which you can just avoid altogether and not buy that and still have the same car. So the argument is, if I told you this, if you bought an SVJ and I bought an SVJ at the same exact price, but the SVJ you bought, you paid $900K for, and then you sold it for $700K. Well, you lost 200 grand. But what if I bought a better SVJ for 750 grand and I sold, and let's say I don't know anything about my course, and I sold it and I lost 50 grand and sold it at 700. We had the exact same experience, except mine cost 50 grand. Yours cost 200, right? Okay, same experience. So we're not saying don't buy an SVJ, and that's assuming you don't know any of my tricks. Like, you're just being a educated, intelligent shopper.
Yeah.
So that all I'm saying is that we're in 2025. The fucking internet is a real thing. YouTube is real education. You can learn about concepts that have been hidden from you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, fucking watch YouTube. Like, half the fucking world is already talking about this, right? That some cars don't depreciate, others do. And there's still fucking on the internet that are like, cars are liability because fucking Robert Kawasaki said don't buy luxuries, or fucking Dave Ramsey or whatever fuck some jerk off said live humble or some shit, and you're supposed to not enjoy life till you're 80 and your dick doesn't work, you know?
You know, it's funny. Typically, when I hear, okay, Fresh, Myron, I want to come buy a car, bro. Should I buy a new car? What should I do? And the first thing they do say is, what's the payment I have to make on this car? And that's the typical response. People say, what's the monthly payment? And I think that's a test. It goes to, you know what it is? It's more like a idea that I can afford the payment, like you said. And if I can afford the payment, then I can afford the car.
Okay, but rethink that strategy. Real simple.
But insurance too, though.
No, you pay $3,000 a month for a car. That money's gone, right? It's a liability. It's going to keep going. And usually you probably have negative equity by the time you want to sell your car.
Yeah.
That's the typical mindset, right? What if your payment was $5,000 a month? In your head, you typically think, well, that's a worse deal for me because I'm losing $2,000 more. But what if the car you bought for $700, or let's say $300 grand, like a normal Ferrari, it doesn't even have to be something crazy.
Yeah.
What if that car was $300 and you made a $5,000 payment instead of a $3,000 lease payment? But 2 years later, when you sold that car, you got 300 grand back. Well, all these payments you made went into the equity of the car. Some of it went to interest, whatever. But there's still equity in the car now because the car didn't depreciate, right?
Yeah.
But what if these other $3,000 cheaper payments, all of it went to lease fees and all kinds of shit. So at the end of it, basically you return your car. The difference is we both had the same car. I had a lower payment, right? You had a lower payment than me because I paid more money per month. But that more money per month was retained in the value of the car. So when I went to sell my car, I basically got like my 30, 50 grand back in payments, and you got nothing back. So what do I use for my next car now as a down payment? Well, I got to go get more money and make more money so I can spend more money, right? Versus I just retain my money. So I didn't do anything different. All I did is, instead of thinking about the monthly payment, I thought by buying the right car, I'm retaining the value. So I'd rather pay more per month as long as the more is being stored in the car, rather than thinking in what can I afford per month. I need to look at the overall cost of what is this asset going to, what does it cost now, what is it going to be cheaper for?
See, that's the business mindset. You're looking at the exit from the very beginning.
Yeah.
That's smart. Okay.
Same thing with marriage, right? You always look at the potential issues. You go, what happens if I need to exit? Well, that's what you have prenups for.